Today we're going to share with you our do not grow list. This is a list we've compiled over about 5 years, and it's not an exhaustive list. I'm sure there's things we've forgotten about. We have blocked from our memory. Just some flowers that we've grown and that did not work for us, either for personal reasons or because of our climate or microclimate or maybe just our garden. So we thought maybe you would like to hear about them to consider this an honest review. Okay, I'll take the first one. The first one is stock. It's a spring flower, and if we could grow it and it wouldn't be a lot of maintenance, it would be a perfect thing to grow. But we kind of resent it because it's ready right when we have so much garden work to do. We don't have time to pick it. It just rots in the garden. So we took that off of our to grow list. Plus, when you put it in a vase, it makes the vase water smell pretty terrible.
And another one is sweet peas. Here again, we've got a disclaimer because we are actually going to try growing sweet peas again this year. I discovered that there is a kind of sweet pea that's been bred for our climate, which most sweet peas I think are usually bred for like the English summer, and that's a lot less hot and humid quickly. Like here, it goes from spring to summer in a matter of a week.
2 hours usually. Yeah, it's not even a week.
So we found there's a Winter Elegance, I think is the name of the series. So we're gonna try a couple of those again. And we had grown them a couple years ago with success, and then tried some others and just were disgusted. So yeah, didn't do well.
Doesn't take much to disgust us. I think they're a lot of work at the beginning of spring, and then you have to stake them, you have to train them up the trellis, we do all that stuff, and then we get about 5 blooms off of a whole row. So
and they have to have a long, a growing period inside. Like they need to,
right.
We start about 12 weeks, 9 or 12 weeks before your last frost. And so you're tending them for many hours and they don't do much.
All right, next one on our list would be China Asters. And I always call them Chinese Asters, they're actually China Asters. It's not, I don't know, it's probably an us issue too, but I think we were fooled by a beautiful floret picture on this one. Raise your hand if you've ever been there. And in real life, it didn't really translate to, maybe it was the wrong color. Like they were ready in the fall kind of, and we planted a pretty pink, and we didn't want to use it. So
another one is Trailing Amaranth. We had way too much of that last year. I got sick of it. So
plus we didn't use it a lot, and again, probably an us problem, I don't know. I just had a hard time using it in bouquets.
I think it's really pretty in some things and certain of the colors, but we just had way too much of it and we were both just sick of it, so we said, okay, skip it for next year, for sure.
Right.
Oh, also, Dad nicknamed them donkey tails.
It's hard to unhear that.
Kind of hard to arrange and make an arrangement with some donkey tails,
Right. Let's see, the next one, and have we planted Dusty Miller since our first year?
Well, no, I don't think so.
For the first, our first disastrous garden, we had an abundance of Dusty Miller and not much else, and we probably resented it because of that.
We had Dusty Miller and bright orange cosmos.
Right. And dwarf zinnias. We actually planted dwarf zinnias that year.
And amaranth trees.
Yep, and amaranth trees that were taller than we were. It was quite a disaster, our first garden. I think I actually went to Kmart and just bought a flat of reduced rate Dusty Miller, and it's the old kind. It's not the new look Dusty Miller. Sort of a little more lacy look to it. It was fine, but it grows all summer, very slowly, and when it's finally about the height you need it for an arrangement, you're ready for fall stuff. And Dusty Miller to me is kind of a spring greenery, so it's on our do not grow list.
Another one is Scoop Scabiosa, and while we really liked them, those are pretty expensive. We actually buy them in plug. I haven't really had real good success in starting Scabiosa. It's kind of tough to get germinated, I guess. So that we're skipping that one. Too expensive. Maybe later when we use it more in our arrangements.
And the one year we splurged for it, we went, we thought what was it, $80 for a tray of plugs?
I don't know, it's phenomenal.
It's way more than you need. Like we would only want about 20 plugs, it'd be sufficient for us. And we planted it specifically for a wedding we had June 30th, I think, and it was ready about 11 days later, I remember. It took it 11 days. It was supposed to be ready by the wedding, but it was not. Poppies. This was one it took us a while to give up on that one. And I'm talking about the, what are they called?
Hummingbird or
The annual poppies, right? Because there's also a perennial variety that we've grown, and we can grow it really well, but it doesn't have the colors we're looking for. Fun fact, poppies, red poppies were actually my grandma Schrock's favorite flower, right?
Yeah.
One of her favorite flowers. She liked a lot of flowers. So we have decided, we've tried to grow poppies how many years now?
We didn't
last year, but I think we did every year.
3 years.
Yeah. And they're also a spring flower and don't do well in an uncontrolled environment, I guess, which is what our garden is. And we had some tough growing seasons in there too, but finally just realized we're just gonna skip it, I guess.
Yep. Straw flower. I like this one more than she does. But they didn't do real well for us the last couple years. I'm not sure if I have them quite in the right place or what, but we decided to skip those for this year too. I like them because I like to get them before they're open. They're actually a flower a lot of people use to dry, and we don't do a lot of drying flowers. I guess we could, but just not really our time. Yeah.
Okay, and we do actually have some dahlias on our do not grow list too. And there's actually a lot of dahlias we don't really care for, but ones that we have tried, and this one was black satin, right? We gotten 3 tubers of that, and we were so excited about it. It's a really dark maroon dahlia, and it just didn't produce any flowers. It might have, the 3 tubers may have produced 3 blooms the entire season.
Possibly.
I mean, we're talking big, gorgeous dahlia bushes, but not a bloom. And they were planted where all the others were, so we just decided, okay, I think that's a black satin problem, not an us problem. So we just crossed them off our list. We had a small disagreement about Creme de cassis. It was a new one for us last year, but at the end of the season we realized we hardly ever used it. It just wasn't our type of dahlia, so that one got the axe.
And then Cinderella zinnias. Zinnias, I guess. We always say that wrong.
Zinnias. Nelson Badgie. The zinnias.
Zinnias. Are we actually No, we're not planting any Cinderellas this year. So that we tried them for probably, every year we've been growing them pretty much except for the first year because we didn't really know about them then. And they don't do well. They don't get that nice puffy, fluffy flower that they're supposed to.
For us, I don't know. Do we just get bad seed all the time? I don't know.
Every year we'll get 1 or 2 plants that has the perfect flower, and then none of the rest do. And it's
none of the others.
They're ugly. If they're not that fluffy,
they're either gorgeous or not pretty at all.
Not worth it.
There's no middle ground
so
there.
They got the axe.
And the last thing on our list is Feathertop Grass. We planted it last year, and it's actually towards the end of the season when it got a little bleached out and white. I really liked it, and I liked it for.
It was pretty in fall arrangements.
Fall arrangements and also in evergreen wreaths. So I don't know, we might have to reconsider that.
1 or 2 plants would be all we need.
And we were actually hoping for bunny-tail grass. I think the seed had sold out for that. You might like it. We just decided it's not for us. Good enough? Okay. There's our Scrooge list. If you're growing any of those yourself, I mean, that's more power to you. I think we grow stuff that other people are like, why are you growing that?
You kind of have to pick what goes well with your climate and even microclimate. Like something we've kind of learned. Some people around here can grow things well. We're on the top of a hill, we get tons of wind. Mm-hmm. And so we have to be a little bit careful with what we grow and where we grow it and that kind of thing. So that factors in.
And then also, it takes a while to learn what you like to work with that you can grow yourself.
Let us know too if you have anything that's getting the axe in your garden this year, or if there's something you think we should know about that we should never grow.
Yeah, we'd like to know. All right, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something today.
Okay, bye.